Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into, well, a really mind-bending set of sources. We're exploring a figure who just embodies this startling contradiction. A pioneering rocket scientist who was also a devoted occultist.
Yeah.
We're talking about Jack Parsons. His name connects directly to, the birth of space exploration.
Right, JPL and all that.
Exactly. But also deeply to magic rituals. How did these two seemingly opposite worlds even intertwine for one guy, let alone maybe fuel each other?
It's a fascinating question. Our sources for this deep dive include a Thelemic primer. There's a really interesting Reddit thread looking at movements that blend science and esotericism.
Okay.
And we've got deeper analyses like Strange Angel and Shocktober, Babylon working. So our mission today is really to unpack how Parsons was key in sending things up into space.
Yeah.
While he was also busy exploring these unseen sort of metaphysical worlds.
Okay, let's really get into this then. Jack Parsons, self-taught chemist, comes from wealthy Pasadena. He was apparently just devouring science fiction pulps.
Right, the classic space travel inspiration back then.
Totally. And he later co-founds what becomes the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL.
And Aerojet. Can't forget Aerojet.
And Aerojet, right. He basically revolutionized rocketry. That groundbreaking asphalt-based solid fuel, that was him.
And what's so fascinating here is just the sheer audacity of it all. I mean, rocketry initially, it was ridiculed.
Oh, yeah.
Seen as totally impractical, almost, lunatic stuff.
Right.
Parsons, with Frank Molina and Ed Foreman, they formed Caltech's informal Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad? Seriously?
Yeah, and it wasn't just some quirky nickname. It came from their incredibly dangerous, often exploding early rocket tests.
Wow.
Experiments. The scientific establishment initially just dismissed. So this whole era of private fanaticism, as some called it, that's what ultimately paved the way for modern space tech.
Sounds like they were real outsiders, almost a fringe group, just pushing way beyond what people thought was even possible.
Absolutely.
But then his life takes this really stark turn, doesn't it, into the esoteric. Parsons gets deeply drawn to the occult, specifically Aleister Crowley's Thelema.
Indeed. And Thelema follows that maxim. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. It's essentially a philosophy of radical personal freedom, self-realization.
Okay.
Parsons joined Crowley's Agape Lodge. It was this, pretty notorious occult commune.
Right.
Their ceremonies often had intense sexual motifs, these cakes of light, sort of symbolic communion wafers, reportedly made with things like animal blood. It was all framed as a rebellion against, traditional morality.
So how did he reconcile these two, the science and the magic? For a lot of people, those are just fundamentally opposed.
Well, Parsons apparently saw them as different sides of the same coin. Both were rebellions against human limits, ways to escape Earth physically through rockets, and, spiritually or metaphysically through ritual. His occult work, like the famous Babylon working rituals, which aimed to conjure a goddess, took place at 1003 South Orange Grove, a mansion that, ironically, used to be a hub for Caltech's scientific elite.
Wow.
So for him, that boundary between the physical and the metaphysical, it seemed pretty permeable.
And the story just keeps getting stranger.
Yeah.
1945, right? L. Ron Hubbard.
Oh, yeah.
The future founder of Scientology moves into that very occult house.
Right into the mix. Parsons was apparently just captivated by Hubbard's stories, his adventure tales. And incredibly believed Hubbard had some kind of supreme magical sensitivity.
Which didn't end well.
Not at all. Talk about a double betrayal.
Yeah.
Hubbard didn't just run off with Parsons' money.
He took his lover, Betty, too.
Exactly. It's this shocking twist, but it really highlights the kind of chaotic, unconventional circles Parsons was in. A world where, scientific brilliance could coexist with, maybe be vulnerable to, outright con artists.
Yeah. If we connect this to the bigger picture, Parsons' journey kind of highlights how that formalized, military-driven science often pushed out independent, sort of maverick innovators like him.
That's a good point. He was definitely on the fringes in some ways.
Yet, despite all that, despite being pushed aside later on, his pivotal contributions to rocket propulsion, they're formally recognized. There's actually a crater on the far side of the moon named Parsons.
Yeah, that recognition on the moon, it's kind of a quiet nod to his undeniable impact, isn't it?
It really is.
He pushed the boundaries of the known world, through fire and engine tests, but also through ritual.
So what does this all mean for you listening? Parsons' life, it isn't just some bizarre historical footnote. It really challenges us, I think, to consider if radical innovation sometimes needs that break from established thought. Could his, unwavering belief in the unseen, maybe honed through magic, could that have paradoxically fueled his drive to explore the physical frontiers of space?
It's a provocative thought. And his crater up there on the moon, nestled among giants like Tsiolkovsky and Goddard, it serves as this quiet monument. A monument to a man who, despite a really tumultuous life, found a kind of acceptance in the very cosmos he dreamed of reaching.
Yeah.
Really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other unlikely combinations of passion and pursuit might unlock the next great breakthrough?